everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Chandrika and this is Rika Life. So today is the first in a two-part video, and I wanted to actually show you some of the pieces that I'm going to be putting up in my online store. So I have them here. So I'm going to show you, I think, about 5 or 6 today. And the second part of the video that will come out later on this week will have the other 5 or 6 that I'm also putting up on my store. So without further ado, let's get started. I just wanted to let you know to like, share, and subscribe this video, and click on the bell to turn on notifications for all my new videos. In the description below, I usually link you to the patterns that I'm using, the yarns that I'm using, and then there's also information about my Ravelry account where you can see all the projects I'm working on, and there's detailed information about the yarns used, the hook sizes, the patterns, and so forth. And then I also have links to my Facebook and my Instagram, and I also have a Facebook group, so that's all there. And then you can also email me. I have an email, rikalife11@gmail.com, and you can contact me there. I've already gotten some really sweet emails from people asking about some of the shawls that I made earlier this year. So that was really nice to hear from some of you. So without further ado, I will show you the pieces I have that are going for sale. I think 2 of them I haven't woven in the ends yet, but I have taken pictures because you can still take pictures without weaving in the ends, so that's what I did. This first one you might recognize. This is the second time I'm making this blanket. This blanket is just called my Pinks crochet blanket, and it is a solid pink mixed with a variegated pink, and this is called the linen or moss stitch, and that's where you're doing 1 single crochet, chain 1 single crochet all the way across, and then when you come back you do the single crochets in those chain 1s from the previous row. So this blanket is done with 2 different yarns. This one up here is called Medium Rose, and this is a Joann's brand yarn, which is called Big Twist. So this is Big Twist in Medium Rose. And then the yarn on the bottom here is from Walmart. It's the Mainstays brand, and it's called Pink Multi. And I think I used an I or 5.5 millimeter hook for this. I always use only Susan Bates hooks, which are the metal ones with the ergonomic handle. So that's what I used on this one. So this one is going to be listed in my store. I'm trying really hard to get everything ready so that I can get my store live. I'm very excited. Okay, the next blanket is, so that blanket, I did use a pattern. If you go on my Ravelry, I hope I've put that on my Ravelry. I'm going to double check after this video. But that was just, the colors I chose were my own, but I just followed someone's pattern to start with that linen or moss stitch. Okay, the next blanket is this one. You might have seen this before. This is the Beautiful Shells, and I made 6 big squares, 4 small squares, and then I joined them together, and then I made a little shells border as well. This is a pattern by, well, of course I can't remember her name now. It's called Beautiful Shells. You can find it. I will try and put it in the description box below. Okay. It's also going to be on my Ravelry. If it's not already there, it'll be there. So, yep. All my ends are here. You want to see my ends? All my beautiful ends are here. I still have to weave them in. I'm just trying to get done as much as I can when I get a minute here or there and my kids are, occupied or someone's here to watch them, which is very rare. But anyways, the next one is a mandala. This is made with, sorry, I didn't tell you what yarn I used for that. So this is made with cinnamon swirl cakes, and then the black is Karen Simply Soft. So these cinnamon swirl cakes, this was all in a cake. in one cake, and I broke it down and I pulled out all the same colors and made little balls, and this was quite a labor of love. So yeah. Okay, the mandala is Karen Blossom Cakes. I cannot remember the colorway right now, but that's the mandala. It's pretty big, bigger than my face. This one I ended up getting really nice pictures of. Look at that here. You can see the stitch definition. I like it. What do you think? It's really pretty. I'm so glad that I found this pattern. This is called Melanie's Mandala. And yeah, this yarn just looked fabulous with this pattern. Like that stitch definition, that's very hard to get with many yarns. With many yarns, it just kind of fade and blend, but because this yarn is chain spun, so it has like, you can see that it's little chains that are there. It gives off this really nice effect. So that is that mandala. The next one is called Daisy Dream Mosaic Crochet Along. I did not finish the pattern because as you know, I have 2 little ones, and I think I made this when my son was still very small and not moving around much. So this is what it looks like. It's still a pretty decent size. I would have loved to like be able to finish the pattern, but I don't get time like that to sit down and follow this. So in case you've never made a mosaic blanket before or piece before, the way it works is that there's 2 different colors. So I have a black that's going up, and I have the color changing yarn. And then, yeah, you just alternate. So you do 1 row of the color, 1 row of black, 1 row of the color, 1 row of black. And as you can see, they just go up together. They're not showing through or anything because each row is a separate row. But it gives this really nice effect. And I think when I saw this pattern, I already had this yarn and I thought it would just look gorgeous. So this is going to be listed in my store as well. And yeah, one thing I need to do now is to measure them all and weigh them all so that I can figure out for, dimensions for like what flat rate box it might fit in and how much it weighs for shipping and all that. So I have to do that. The next blanket you may or may not remember. This is my baby blue blanket. One of my popular videos showing off this alpine stitch square. This just started as a square and I left it and I had it in my finished pieces. And then I pulled it out and I made all of this lovely goodness on top of it. From here upwards is all me. Just my creativity, whatever came in my mind. And I got to use the second color of blue. And let me see if I can hold that up for you. Yeah, so it's pretty big, but it's a really lovely blanket, and I'm so glad that I pulled it out and I, was able to make it into this instead of it just being a square. I don't usually just make like squares and keep them. I only do it if I'm in the middle of like doing it for a specific project, but this was one that I was just playing around with this stitch and I wanted to try it out. So I followed a tutorial and then I was like, hey, let's just make it into a full blanket. So that's that. And then I have one last one to share with you today. And this is I believe it's called Arcadia, and this is by Helen Shrimpton. And this is a big one as well. And there's a lot of detail there. You just pan through it slowly so you can see the amount of detail that's happening. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. I think I just used 4 colors. So it is, yeah, there you go. That's what it looks like, that purple. So this yarn and the peach yarn here are Bernat Softy Baby, and then the cream and this purple color are Karen Simply Soft. So I've mixed and matched those. And yeah, look at it. Look at that. It's pretty. I know, I'm always fawning over my own stuff. So as I mentioned before, I really won't have much left after these are all gone, but that's okay. I have lots of new yarn and I'm going to make lots more projects. And I had, this past weekend, I had both my crochet buddies with me, my cousin and my daughter. And so I had taught them both single crochet, and then I taught my daughter double crochet, and my cousin learned double crochet on her own. And so I was working on one of those blankets that I started that I could just mindlessly work on, which is single crochet and double crochet in the same stitch, skip one stitch, and then repeat it all the way across. So that's what I taught them. I was like, hey, do you want to learn how to change your square into something cool? Not square, but they had like a big rectangle. So my cousin was just going back and forth with single crochets, double crochets. So I was like, hey, since you know those 2 stitches, do you want to learn how to make it look different? So I started her off. Her tension is like very, very tight. So I could barely get my hook in. But I guess that's just something that'll change with practice, that she'll be able to have a looser tension. And then for my daughter, I was teaching her as well. And so she has a little swatch that she's working on. But yes, that is part 1 of this video, showing you everything that's going to be on sale. And in my next video, I'll show you the next set of things, and then we'll see where we go from there. And I want to thank you again so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you continue to follow me on my journey. It's going to be lots of fun. I hope you have a wonderful crochetful day, and I'll see you again soon.